let's just talk about how to finance and purchase an RV. I get asked a lot of questions about buying my RV. Just went through the purchasing process of this unit and it's been an adventure. Why not share that with you? I actually wrote this bubble chart. You probably can't even see this, maybe. I listed like all the things I could think of that you'd possibly ask about buying an RV. Why would you want to buy an RV cash versus finance? There are advantages to both. When you buy an RV, there's going to be expenses. It could be the dealer fees, some type of warranty, taxes. You're not going to want to pay out of pocket because that's your cash, and you can use that to actually use the RV because you got to pay for all the operating expenses that come along with the RV, and you might want to finance those in versus paying those out of pocket. Amortize like a home. They'll finance these out like a house. It could be 10, 15, 20 years. I just financed this one out 20 years, not because I'm gonna take 20 years to pay it off. You might be able to actually write the RV off as a second home on your income taxes or for some type of income tax purpose. Last year I had a house and I had an RV, so I had two places to live. Not really, but technically I was in the process of selling my home. That was something to keep in mind, is that I can write off the interest from that potentially. So that's another reason that you'd want to finance it, because you'd be writing off the interest instead of a huge payment at one time. And a lot of times I used to do taxes, so do not take this as tax advice, but if you make a really large purchase, a lot of times what happens is they'll make you amortize it out anyways over so many years. To finance at a dealership, a dealer can check multiple lenders for you. Now, if you have a really good relationship with your bank, they may be a great place to start for your RV loan. Don't go and get pre-approved for an RV. Plan what you need and plan what you can afford. So what type of RV you need, and then what type of RV you can afford as far as like your monthly payments. That's what I would kind of stretch it out as. Those are a lot of the pros. There are some cons. Of course, when you're financing, they're going to run your credit. Normally you have to have really good credit to get an RV. I don't want to say excellent, but good. If you have really crappy credit, I'm not sure that they'll get you financed, because an RV is considered a luxury item. But if it's for a smaller purchase, like $10,000, $30,000, below $50,000, you might be able to get financed if you don't have like that great of credit. Again, the dealers can shop around for you. A lot of times what happens is they may want you to put down a down payment. That can be anywhere from 10 to 20%. And if you go over $100,000 in your purchase, you will have to put down a down payment for your RV unless you're trading something in. Some places like Camping World, which I'm not saying go there, please. If you do your research before you go there, oh God, don't rely on them to help you find the perfect RV, but they will take stuff. So like I traded in a car on an RV or two before I bought this one and wrapped that into my deal. That's something that you might be able to do. And then if you're over 100,000 or even under 100,000, depending on your bank and your financial situation, you might have to have some type of proof of income. I've had to have my pay stubs. I've had to have like W-2s, or if you own your own business, you might have to have more stuff with your taxes, a couple years of tax returns. It just depends on your bank, your situation, and you really won't know till you apply, but you should consider at any aspect you're gonna have to have these things more than likely. Have a budget and find what you want and then figure out how to buy it. I have heard that you should expect to get about 30% off of MSRP, which is manufacturer price, and then you can haggle from there, but I'm just telling you, these places do not really haggle that much. You need to know what you're bargaining with when you go in there, because it kind of depends on what they got it for as well.
That's probably my best piece of advice.
Keep in mind that you're buying a home.
I've said that like over and over.
But seriously,
You're buying a home.
the resale value on a house is the same thing, because when you try to sell this, it may not be super easy to sell. I've tried to sell mine and it's not easy, okay? It's not easy. You're gonna take a loss on, in most cases, and it's not something that you can flip around and just sell unless you trade it in, and then you're still gonna take a loss on it. So keep that in mind when you're buying, what the resale value is on it, what you're paying for it, and kind of what you should expect. Other expenses, like I mentioned, you want to keep in mind. Are you going to have to pay for propane, your gas, your diesel to get around, any electricity, water? All of these things come into account when you're financing as well, because you're going to have to pay for something else on top of the monthly payment that you're already financing. I remember when I got my travel trailer, I would tow with it. I had to tow it. So I bought my travel trailer, then I bought the tow car for it because I didn't have one. I know, kind of weird. But I quickly discovered that towing was really expensive, and I was crying every time. Every time I moved that thing, it cost me over $100 because I'd have to stop 3 or 4 times to get gas, and after half a tank it would just drop, and it was horrible. Used versus new, if you're gonna buy, I would buy a couple years old, maybe 2 or 3, just because the resale value on these, it drops as soon as you take it off the lot. That thing is gone. It's gonna drop like $10,000 immediately, if not more. There's tons of RV companies. There's tons of finance companies. You have to do your research. That's why I mentioned if you go to the RV dealership, they can shop around for you. I hate to say this, but Camping World's kind of like a mega giant. They're probably a really good place to get started. Not that you have to buy from them, but you can get a lot of information and see different models. The bigger the RV, the more expensive the RV, the more it costs to operate, the more it costs to buy, the more it costs to insure. So keep all of those things in mind. Even if you can afford the big RV, there's these other costs that are associated with it. And then online, RV Trader, I'd go on there and look around. Now you know the basics to purchasing an RV and why you would want to finance one versus pay for one with cash. There's pros, there's cons to both. We talked about the different RV types, so if you're not sure which type of RV to get, you might want to check out a video I did about the different RV types. If you're going to be boondocking, I did a video about that. For doing this buying process, I went through this and it can be a little crazy, so I put everything into a nice little checklist that you can download in the description below. It's my RV buying guide. I'll answer all your questions, and if you have more, make sure to put them in the comments below and subscribe. You might end up in one of my next videos. I'm Brandy of vlogandbrandy.com. Check out my story, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Maybe we'll be going on a big adventure, who knows? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Brandy, aka Vlogging Brandy, and I do have another successful channel other than this one. This one looks new because it is, but it's because I wanted to share my RV life with you, and people on my other channel may not want to know about my RV life because it's about business and how I live and work in my business, not in my RV, and this is just really special to me. It's something that I've been going through, so